Turn on all my lights. This is Nicki Sun from TechNicki Speaking, here with a gear recommendation. A wireless microphone system that not only plugs into your camera, but also to your phone and computer. What do you think?
That's dope!
You're zooming in on me. And at the same time, I have no director or cameraman.
Right now, you're like Asian Daenerys in my mind.
I've always been the mother of cameras.
I love technology. When other women see us in front of the camera, they're inspired to do it too.
This has been Nicki Sun with Gals and Gear at NAB Show Live.
Nicki's an amazing entrepreneur / content creator / female director / cinematographer / Asian ambassador.
She's talking about choosing the right camera for the job.
Woo! Definitely. She's amazing. That was it for this episode of TechNicki Speaking. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello everyone and welcome to the last day of NAB Show. This is my show, TechNicki Speaking by Nicki Sun. I'm your host, Nicki Sun. It's been an incredible week. We've had guests all week, actually. For an hour, we've been talking gear, we've been talking live streaming, we've been talking filmmaking, cinematography, and today I have a very, very exciting panel. I have the NAB Show Influencer team with me, and I'm so excited to dive deeper into what they did the entire week, get to know a little bit more about them, and the gear that they use to capture so many content, and we'll also be able to see some of the content that they shot right live on this show. If you're just walking by right now, this is a live show, but it's also an in-studio audience show, and we do encourage audience participation. So if you like to join our last show of NAB Show of TechNicki Speaking, please come in right now and have a seat. There's also some t-shirts being given away too, so just letting you know that. So without further ado, because we have an amazing panel of women, I'd love for them to each introduce themselves and a little bit about your background, your elevator pitch. You've been going around getting everybody else's stories, but I want to know your story. So Ruby, can we start with you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm Ruby Mundock. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so a bit of a journey to get over here, but it's been super fun. I am currently a junior at Millersville University studying media arts production, and I have a minor in government and political affairs. My interest is broadcasting. I love anchoring, reporting, anything in front of the camera, but I also love behind the camera and post-production. So this has been a super fun experience, and I've learned so much. Also, quick plug, I have a podcast as well called Hyper Talkative Podcast, so go stream it, please.
Amazing. And Kimi?
Yeah, I'm Kimi Fleming. I'm a senior journalism major at the University of Maryland College Park from Frederick, Maryland. I'm graduating in 3 weeks, so I guess my elevator pitch, I've definitely worked on it a lot this week, but I love storytelling, I love visual storytelling. My favorite thing is to be behind the camera and edit, so I'm hoping to go into either editing for TV or doing video features for an online paper.
Amazing. MC.
Alrighty, I'm MC. My full name is Majia, Cottrell, but I go by MC. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I go to the University of Central Oklahoma, majoring in professional media. A lot of people have been calling me a switched army knife because I'm good on camera, I'm good behind the camera. I do a lot of editing. I'm an anchor on my student newscast. I'm a host on a radio station at my school. I basically do it all.
I love that. And Ms. Kaley.
Hi, my name is Kaley Martin. I'm a broadcast producer and PhD student at the University of Alabama, based in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I've been in the industry for about 8 years and decided that there wasn't enough women teaching the technical roles in the classroom, so I decided to take a chance, get a PhD, and start teaching the next generation of storytellers.
Well, incredible. And before we start looking at some of the content that you went around, I want to I'm pretty sure the audience, and I'm actually very curious, how did you become the 4 NAB Show influencers for this show? Like, how did that happen? And feel free to go down and let me know or add in whenever you feel fit. But yeah, how does one become an NAB Show influencer?
I think a lot of us, actually all 4 of us, are involved in BEA, which is the Broadcast Education Association, and they have a conference going on at the same time over in West Hall as NAB. So our professors, I think, all reached out to us individually and sent us the application, and were like, we think you'd be great at this position. give it a shot, apply. I know personally, I just transferred to the school I'm at. I'm new to the program. And so having my professor reach out and believe in me by sending me the application really meant a lot. And we applied, we went through interview processes, and then they gave us the big news, and here we are in Vegas, like 2 months later. It's crazy.
Amazing. So you transfer, then I see it, and I'm gonna do it. I love that attitude. And actually, Kaley, I think I was on the monorail with your professor. Yeah. Yeah. It was like a weird thing. I was like, I think at this show, I was in the monorail, and I was also the only other female on the train, so naturally at these kind of conventions, you just gravitate towards each other. And so she asked me what I was doing, and then I said something about NAB Show and a live show. She's like, I think, do you know my student? I'm like, well, which one? There's 4 of them. But I found out that it was you. So it's just so crazy how like that happens at NAB Show. You just meet people, and someone knows somebody else, and you're connecting that way. Did you find a lot of networking opportunities when you were going out and shooting?
Well, I know for me, when I walked around, I did get a lot of amazing opportunities. Like Kaley, she kept bragging. She was like, "You are an influencer for real." Because people kept coming up to me and they're like, "You're on the Amplify stage, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And they're like, "Oh, that's so awesome." And like, I talked to someone from Verizon, from Adobe, like I forget her, Laura. She was like, "So you should come to LA. Like, you should just fly out there." And I was like, "I mean, don't tempt me with a good time." And so she was like, "I'm so serious. Here, take my card. Call me when you graduate." And so I have found a lot of good opportunities being here.
And just furthering that, like, I think it's been such an incredible experience just talking to so many people through like being an influencer and getting the content that we've been getting. We've learned so much, and like I've tried to work into every conversation. Oh, I'm graduating in 3 weeks, like looking for jobs, and it's been like the best thing ever because everyone's taken us so seriously and professionally, and it's just like that level of respect is something that's so refreshing to get.
Kaley, have anything to add over here?
Yeah, it's been interesting to me as someone who's been in the industry for a little bit and now kind of moving into academia, coming to NAB, because I feel like, in the classroom, it's important for me to bring in creators who I see, especially underrepresented creators. So for here, it's been great to network with creators specifically and know, hey, would you be interested in, zooming into a classroom and things like that to get students exposed who maybe can't make it out to NAB but still would like that exposure to know this is what happens at NAB. So it's been a lot of fun, and truthfully, I've been MC's camera woman all week because it's literally the MC show. Everybody's been like, oh my gosh, you're on the live stream. She's got all this swag. I was like, you gonna throw me some of that swag? Like.
I love it. And before this, did any of you know each other?
No.
I would not know.
What
an incredible experience. I wish this was something that happened when I first came to NAB, because what a very special experience. So I actually want to know, tell us about what you had to do as an NAB show influencer. Like, tell the audience what you had to do in order to be here today.
Yeah, so as everyone knows here at NAB, the show is kind of split up into 4 different categories. There's create, connect, capitalize, and is it intelligent?
Intelligent.
I don't know much about that one.
That's our zone.
So we got paired up, and Kimi and I covered connect and capitalize, and MC and Kaley covered intelligent content and create. And basically our job was just to go out on the show floor, create 30 minutes of content a day covering one of those sections, vlog style, some organic content, interviews, getting to know the exhibitors and the booths. And we can all attest, we are exhausted, but in the best way, just working our butts off, but we produced that content, and it was so fun.
So you went around every day, shot content, went back, edited on your computers, and put 30-minute segments together.
That's right.
And shout out to the Activate Entertainment team, by the way, who is running all of the production, the cameras, the audio at this Amplify stage. It's been incredible working with them. I know that when you finish your segments, you would hand it off to them, they would ingest it, and there we go. So without further ado, if Isaac is ready, I get to talk and really get to talk to the behind the scenes folks right here. But I'd love to, so you guys were both split up in teams, right? Yep. So Ruby and Kimi, I'd love to showcase a little bit about your time at NAB Show.
We just heard a super cool discussion and got to talk with Cheryl of KSL Podcast, which was so cool as two people who are in the podcast industry. Now we are heading to the Capitalize Experiential Zone to hear another presentation. This is a crazy day in the Capitalize world, but
Already learning so much. That
oh my
was
gosh,
such a
yeah.
great talk.
It
Just about
was.
the industry. Got her contact information.
Yup.
Maybe
a job.
We'll see.
See, you never know who you'll meet here at NAB and what opportunities can come from it. So it's a really good investment in your future, especially if you're like college age like us.
Absolutely. I could not imagine not being here right now.
I know.
It's so cool.
See how far behind the other one is?
Yeah. That is crazy.
Even with network drops, it's still fast.
Yeah.
And it's still, you can still see the picture. Beautiful. There's no drops like this.
I'm here.
Well, that was beautiful. I know the viewers at home got to see it in full video and audio, but the live audience is like, what's going on right now? So can you explain to the audience like what was happening in that clip and what kind of content you got through that?
Yeah, so that was one of our Capitalize segments. We were walking around the Capitalize zones all over the convention center, just talking to some people at the booths. The booth that we featured in that was Teradek, which is actually on the second floor, not on the show floor itself, but we got a whole demonstration there of their broadcast production systems, their cameras, their like new technology, keeping them at the forefront of the industry, and it was really interesting just to see all the differences in technology, because both of us also do broadcast production. And then we just like to have a little fun vlog, take people with us. Like, we like to put our personalities out there. So we wanted to bring all of the audience to our experience on the show floor.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot of fun because when it comes to video production, we both have different skills that we brought to the table. I have a lot of experience in vlogging and that style video, and Kimi has a lot of experience in like the visual storytelling and putting together packages. So it was fun kind of utilizing both of our skills and our strengths and learning from each other and putting together videos that showcased both of our skills.
What was it like working together? I mean, again,
Amazing.
you all came here not knowing everybody, and I see four amazing women who are, I feel like, is a friends, you know, like the next Spice Girls group or something, you know, but I see like absolute friends and friendships being formed here. So what was it like working with each other?
Oh, it was so great. Literally, I'm like getting sad about the thought of leaving each other.
too.
But we realized she's in Maryland, I'm in Pennsylvania. We're so close to each other. We're gonna hang out all the time when we get back to the East Coast. It's just,
Absolutely.
you know, when you come into situations like this, it's scary because you have to work with someone and be with them all day. And if you don't get along, you can't just be like, oh, I don't want to work with you. Like, we had to work together, but it worked out perfectly because we clicked.
It was so amazing. And it's been so empowering and inspiring working on a team with such like incredible and talented women. And I think like going to a school that everyone is very talented in what they do, it can kind of, like, we were talking about imposter syndrome a couple of days ago, and just you never think you're good enough. And so like to be here and working on this team, and we're all so supportive of each other, and we all have such like great skills, it's been really awesome.
Oh, I love it. And let's talk more about that too, the technical stuff. Tell me what gear you use to shoot your content.
Yeah, so a lot of our like vlog clips of us I shot on my Canon G7X Mark II. It's like the standard vlog camera, but I love it. It's so small and compact. And I really like it because there's not a detachable lens, so that's one of the main reasons I got it. You can bring it into venues because they allow those small cameras, and it does such a good job. Do you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, so my professor actually let me borrow her DJI Osmo Pocket, which was awesome for filming most of that B-roll. It was so steady. It's like a little gimbal. It's so small.
I have one of those too.
That big, but
Yes.
it's like one of the coolest things. And even there were so many people. I actually saw someone walking around with one, but so many people came up to me and were like, "Is that a camera? Like, can you show me how it works?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love it. It's like a little robot."
And we had a couple, like, just lapel mics that connected to the phone, honestly, because we have to be quick. Everyone's so busy here, so making sure we had quick access to microphones and decent audio. So we had those. And then Kaley let us borrow one of her little lapel mics as well. So it was really great. You know, we didn't have to use much equipment, but what we did use, it worked so well for us.
And what did you learn in shooting with the gear that you had and your experience? Would you feel like, what were the challenges and maybe something that you might do next time in your experience of being at NAB for the first time?
That's a very good question. I think I've never done really vlog style, and so I think like filming Ruby when she was on camera, being behind the camera and like doing more of that type of thing, I kind of tried to put in my journalistic, what I've learned through journalism school. So like rule of thirds, like close up, medium shot, wide shot. So I think like adapting to kind of the vlog style and using that technology, because I use more Nikon and Sony at school. I've never really used a Canon, and that was really fun to just kind of whip it out, like tap to autofocus. It's such a nice camera for what we were doing.
Yeah, and I think too, having like 20,000 backup chargers and batteries, because in the grand scheme of things, everyone here wants to charge their devices at all times, so the likelihood of finding an open outlet, sometimes it's pretty hard, so making sure we have a lot of charged batteries, that's something.
Oh, I really like that. And then for audio, what kind of audio devices did you use again?
Kaley, what was that type of mic that you let us borrow? I don't even know what company it was.
I want to say, I'm blanking.
Oh wait, it was Tascam.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a Tascam.
Yeah,
It records
Tascam.
directly into the device, so you don't actually need a receiver. You just need a micro SD. And it was really great because you didn't have to worry about mixing frequencies while you're here, because obviously there's a lot of frequencies going on, and so that was really nice to just be able to hand that off and then be totally fine.
Yeah, it was so helpful too, because whoever we were interviewing just clipped it on. We didn't have to worry about long wires getting anywhere or getting in the way. Like she said, it records straight to the micro SD, and then you can just stick it in your computer and we've got the audio, so.
First of all, I just love when women talk about gear, because instead of being asked what we're wearing constantly on TV, I love to see what we're actually working on and what the gear we used to do. So thank you for sharing. That B-roll was beautiful. I can't wait to see all the other content, because again, you filmed 30 minutes a day, correct? And we only saw a minute and a half of what you did. So I'm really excited to see, and it's going to be on nabshow.com and constantly on the NAB Amplify, so we can see your work. Excuse me, I'm like, my voice is dry. It's that heat in Vegas. But I want to move on to MC and Kaley. So let's see if we can roll their B-roll.
Come on, buddy. Box them off the couch. 48 hours. Take them off the couch.
They have them all. You have the R, the R6, R5, 5D, and you have the big X over there. Tell me this isn't cool.
So MC, are you coming back to the Canon booth?
Oh, definitely. Do you see all of these? I would die for this whole set just be set up in my house. Look at that.
How do you feel getting this opportunity to see all of this?
Freaking amazing. So we're with you right now. Tell us a little bit about Canon's VR.
Yeah, we're excited to be back here at the NAB Show, and we've been waiting to go and actually show off our beautiful new dual fisheye area, where we'll actually have some various headsets that are available, so people can actually see and experience 180-degree VR video with stereoscopic 3D created from our RF dual fisheye lens.
Awesome. And is this going to be going on for the rest of the NAB show?
Absolutely. We want to go and make sure that we show off to as many people as possible this beautiful new footage that we were able to create from our new dual fisheye lens. So people can actually put on their headset, experience the whole 3D 180-degree video, and then from there we also have a software area and an area that will kind of talk about workflow for the professionals that want to actually create the footage.
Okay, I saw that smooth B-roll and the on-camera interviewing style. You have to work on being behind and in front. So, MC Kaley, tell me a little bit about your experience capturing content at NAB Show for the first time as well.
For it being the first time, me and Kaley actually I feel like we crushed it, honestly, because the create side is so big. There's 2 halls, Central and North, and so we had to cover a lot. The one that you saw is like me freaking out about the Canon equipment at my school. We mostly work with Canon. We have a few Sony, so like when I saw them all lined up, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I am in heaven right now. And she really captured that well. She like edited everything. I was like, the words and everything, this is all really cool. I was like, she is an expert at that. Like me, I edit on Final Cut Pro mostly at my school. And so there was a lot of Adobe using while we were here. And I was like, Kaley, you are crushing it right now. I was like, you need to teach me some of this stuff. So that was my experience.
Yeah, and the most interesting thing was, we had to cover Create, which was 2 zones. The 2 different halls, Central and North, but we also covered Intelligent, and we both didn't really know what Intelligent was going in. So that was our focus for the vlog, was like, we don't know what this means. Let's go find out. And so we just went and literally talked to every single booth and was like, what's intelligent content? How's your company utilizing intelligent content? And we also, on our last Intelligent Day vlog, we actually used some little augmented reality stuff thrown in there. We left that as an Easter egg for people to find. So,
so we all need to go and find this Easter egg.
It's hidden in there, so you'll have to go check it out. But yeah.
Well, what was your experience working with the booths and interacting with everyone there and capturing content? Like, how would you approach the booth and say, can I get an interview with you? Like, what was your approach and strategy doing that?
For both of us, I think we basically used that show influencer role to our advantage. Like we would come up and be like, hey, so we're with NAB, we're a show influencer, and their eyes like automatically lit up. They were like, that's so amazing. Like I didn't even know you guys were here. And they were like, well, let me show you this. Right, they were like, let me show you this, let me show you that. And like Kaley said, they gave me a lot of like gear and stuff, not gear, like freebies. And so I always got excited for when they were like, so you do this. Oh, okay, well you should check this out. Here's my card. This is a free trial for this. You can use that. And I felt like it was very, very fun to like interact with them on like a more vlog level, because usually I'm like I'm more journalism, and so I interview like face to face and like ask like the serious questions, but it was just fun getting to learn from the different booths like what they could give to us content creators.
And I was actually shopping while I was here too, because I'm sent on behalf of my team at UA, and we were looking for a new media asset management system. So I'm going around, I'm just like, I'm also here shopping. Can you tell me a little bit about your system? And they would ask about, our setup at UA and all this. And so that was really fun for them to, kind of sell me at the same time while also giving me the information that I need to know as an editor. It was really great.
I see what you're putting down. I get it. I see it. And then what was it like working with each other? Again, you both met here, was put on a team. This felt like amazing race here, trying to like not compete, but like be on teams to create content throughout the show, and you were all covering different areas. So, but what was it in your experience working with each other?
This is my girl.
If you watch our vlogs, obviously we hate each other.
No, me and Kaley, I feel like our chemistry just clicked on like the first day. By the end of the NAB show, we had started like saying the same things at the same time. I was like, not us syncing up right now. And honestly, it was just honestly just working with her. I learned so much because of her, becoming Doc Martin coming up very soon. I learned a lot from Kaley, and that's all I could really ask for.
And MC was knockout on the camera, so every shot was so easy, and like I'd be like, hey, you want to go do this? She's like, yeah, let's go. Like it didn't matter what it was, she was up for anything, and like that was what made it the most fun. And honestly her positive attitude, like she was just positive the whole time.
That's all you.
And she was just such a pleasure to work with, and all the ladies have been a pleasure to work with. So it's like me, thinking ahead and thinking like, okay, I'm going to be in the classroom. Like if this is the future of the industry, the future is really bright.
Yes. Amen to that, and echoing that. If this is the future of the industry, like we are so covered here. This is just a sample of like, I know the talent that exists out there. Like starting out, I feel like, we have access to all these gears and like professors who believe in the future of content, sending you like on these missions and trips. I didn't have that in school, so this is really incredible. I do want to talk about the gear though. So
we can talk about the
MC
gear.
and Kaley, what kind of gear did you all use in your content capturing?
I'll let Kaley go first.
Okay. So we've not reached a consensus on how to pronounce this brand. So if you're watching, brand, please tell us how to pronounce, because if you watch our vlogs, we've
and then send them stuff. They can do a product
and then
review.
send me stuff. I don't need a charger anymore. I found mine. That's another storyline that you can see in the vlog is me hunting for my charger.
It was in my bag.
Yeah, it was in her bag. We didn't know. For our setup, we used mainly my Zoom Crane Plus gimbal with a Sony a6500 on it. It's a really great vlog camera because it is small. It does have that 180 flip-up screen, which is really nice. We didn't utilize the screen too much because we had a Rode video mic on top of it, just a shotgun mic, and that was really great for just running up to the booths because even if maybe someone was wearing a mask or, we weren't able to get super close, it still picked up crystal clear audio. It was absolutely great. And so by the end of the show, by the end of the week, that's really all we used. But in the beginning, we also used the Rode Go lavalier smart system, the squares. That was really great because you can just clip it to your jacket or clip it to your back pocket, run a lav up your shirt, you're good to go, you can't see it. And then the receiver clips onto an L bracket, which we had on the gimbal. We had a phone mount because at one point when I would film MC through the camera, I would film myself through my phone to get that kind of reaction shot. And then we also had a Sony a7S II. We didn't bring it out as much because it was a little heavier. I'm trying to think. We did a gear talk in one of our vlogs.
Right. I think for me, I have the same thing as Kimi. I had the DJI pocket gimbal, but I also had the little extender thing so I could like move the camera around, so that came in very handy. And then I just used my phone sometimes. I also had a Zune phone gimbal as well, and so you could work through their app and like use their focus and like change their ISO, so that was really cool. And just like she said, I brought my Sony wireless lavalier mics, but by the end of NAB, we just used the Rode boom mic, and that helped for all of our audio.
Amazing. And so just like I asked Ruby and Kimi, what challenges did you come across, and what might you bring next time if you were to cover NAB show to make the process for you all more seamless or smooth?
I think for next time I won't bring as much gear because I brought a camera, but I didn't need one. I brought a DSLR camera, and I was like, honestly, I could use my phone to do like the vlogs and everything, or that little pocket gimbal, and it shot like great quality. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. And like we had like these backpacks carrying around all this stuff, and I was like, honestly, next time I probably won't bring all this because my shoulders are just so sore. I think that was the only thing that I ran into, is that I think I brought too much gear.
Yeah, we're super buff after this week. But yeah, I think next time I would stick to the kind of smaller, I guess in my mind, because I'm used to working with like RE cinema cameras and like all this big, like hefty gear at work, that when I was coming here and we were doing that vlog style, like I just didn't think, and I went to Vlog Like a Pro. I see our our person in the audience. I went to Vlog Like a Pro, and she was like, think light. And I was like, you're so smart, because I brought so much gear and it was so heavy to carry around all day.
Yeah, shout out to Jules, by the way, who's
Jules
in the
audience.
Jules,
you missed
and Ryan
Vlog Like a Pro.
doing
You should have been
amazing
there. It
videos.
was great. But yeah, it was just thinking light in terms of vlog style, and for me, I'm more commercial, and so it was trying to adjust to that.
You stopped talking when I was just getting my water. I would say overall, though, would you do it again?
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Heartbeat, wink, wink.
Please bring me back.
We've already said we're willing to come back next year. Really, fine tune this influencer thing before we hand it off. We want to make sure we get it right.
All right. So now you came to NAB show for the first time. There's so much going on in the future for you all. Where do you want to go? Like what would be the perfect role right now? This is your time to pitch to the live audience and to the folks of NAB show about how we can best utilize and get you all paid in these positions where we can have more, also women, not just women, but like at the same time, I recognize that we are a very diverse group of women trying to, again, increase diversity within this field. So yeah, this is your time to let us know what is it that you want, and manifest it loud and proud. Do not hold back, because when I started out, I started holding back and not saying exactly what I wanted because I thought it was impossible. But now I'm here to say I learned my lesson and say exactly what you want.
Yeah, well, I think my end goal, I still have a year left of school, so I'm in kind of that weird position where I can't really start looking at jobs right now, but I also want to start looking for jobs.
Okay.
My end goal, I want to be a political broadcaster, CNN, PBS, a station like that. I just love everything about politics, and I've said it many times before this week, but I think media is such a powerful tool to spread the straight facts and the information that people need to know. I think we are a fourth branch, and that it's the media's job to get that information out. As of right now, any internships, that's kind of where I'm at. So if anyone has summer internship availability, hit me up. But anything just in the broadcasting and also podcasting world. I've really been trying to get into podcasting more, and I really, really love it. I think it's so fun, and I've done video for so much time in my life that I'm excited to kind of enter this more audio-focused world.
I love that, but just to touch on that, you're one of the first person that actually admits that they want to be in politics or cover that. That's rare. So I actually want to know, I always like to know what makes people tick. Why politics? What's your interest with that?
Yeah, so for a while now actually, or for a while growing up, I was like, I'm going to be a sports reporter. That is all I was focused on. I had a sports show over COVID on YouTube, and I took a media law class last semester with one of my professors, Dr. Spicer, if you're watching, love. And it really got me thinking, I just love the policies. I love just the straight facts. I've always been involved in politics. I've always been advocating for getting out and voting and making sure that you're staying educated on what's happening in the country, especially over the past couple years. There has been so much going on that I think it's more important than ever to be educated. And I realized to myself, I love sports, but I think that I could do more for the world and feel more fulfilled personally if I take on the hard role of going into politics and government and being a voice in the media that people can trust, and that's going to provide unbiased information. Because I feel like the media nowadays is just focused on attacking other media and other channels and kind of tearing them down, when really we just want to know what's going on. So I want to be that voice.
Wow. Well, thank you, because I sometimes go around, and when I talk about content creators or this next generation, I'm constantly around people that are, not familiar with that. And so like, oh, they just want to do TikToks and videos and dance all day. I'm like, well, case in point. You actually are wanting to change and do policy. So not all of us are like that. It's fine for us, some of us that do, but not all of us are in that area. And so it's just really refreshing to hear you say that.
Yeah, and I come from a content creation background, and I love looking for ways to combine those interests, because you can use TikToks and Reels and content to get out anything you want.
Exactly. So you can utilize what this generation's interest level is, mix it in with a little politics and some knowledge, and that's how we spread it faster. I love that. How about you, Kimi?
It's actually funny that you say, you don't know a lot of people interested in politics, because Ruby and I bonded over it as soon as we met. We were like, both of us are interested in covering politics to some capacity. I grew up right around DC. I go to school 15 minutes outside of the district, and even at my college, we have in our capstone, it's a wire service. We send reporters to Capitol Hill, we send reporters to the Supreme Court, and then we also send them to Annapolis, Baltimore, all over the DMV. And so to get that experience in college covering politics at such a close level, I think has been really eye-opening. And so for me, I love, like I said earlier, I love storytelling. I love talking to people. I love telling people. I grew up horseback riding. I've traveled overseas for it on Team USA for my sport, and I was so introverted. And it was just an amazing experience when I was 16 years old to meet people, learn about other cultures, and hear their stories. And I was like, the fact that I can do this for work, it doesn't feel like work. So ended up going into journalism, and I really just I want to make an impact with my reporting. So not necessarily exactly what Ruby wants to do. I do not want to be on camera. This has probably been a really big learning experience actually this week, being on camera, because it's been a lot of work. It's been really draining. I can do podcasting, but again, I love being behind the camera. And so I really just want to cover policy in a way of how it affects people. So by telling people stories just about the different decisions that are being made, to help better inform the public on why it's important that we have certain lawmakers, or we have certain people that are making decisions and advocating for specifically marginalized communities.
Yeah, well, call me no matchmaker, but I feel like we already have a dream team right here that maybe a company should sponsor a show and pay them fully to, edit and
wink,
create
wink.
entertaining content for you all, but I mean, that's just what I'm hearing.
Just,
I mean,
there's conveniently just a ton of, those companies here,
Exactly. And we're live on nabshow.com, so you never know. Again, I believe in manifestation, but that's amazing. And then MC.
So a little bit different than Ruby and Kimi. I honestly, when I first started when we had our first interview on, what was that, Saturday, Sunday, I told them, I was like, I honestly don't know, because I'm good on the camera, I'm good behind the camera, but I went to a few workshops while I've been here, like the one that you were on, Nikki, and then a women's panel, and I was talking to you guys, and a lot of people have been coming up to me, and they're like, you should like do this a lot, because I never thought like on camera was my thing, and then I anchored at school, like my professor, Desiree Hill, hi, Miss Dr. Hill, she was like, so have you ever thought about like anchoring? And I was like, I mean, I'm not really into all that, you know what I'm saying? But then I got like really good. And then we had this influencer position. I never vlogged before. And then like Kaley said, she was like, you are such a natural at it. And so when I went to those workshops and like people were like, you're enough. We need more of you in this industry. Like, I'm a triple threat. I like to say that. Like, I'm black, I'm queer, and I'm a woman. And they're like, we don't have that right now. Like, you walk around here at NAB and, you see a lot of, white men. We see a few women, but we don't see a lot of me here. You know what I mean? And so for me to like try to at least be the starting point of that, I would love to be that. Like, me just hearing people say that like I am enough to be in this space, I'm like, Majia, like, stop holding yourself back. Like, actually do it. Stop trying to like look at everyone else and be like, no, like I'll just stay behind. I'll do this. I'm good at that. Actually have self-worth in myself and be like, you are worth it, and then start doing it. So I think when I go back home, I might start like a little podcast or something and figure out how to like go from there.
I love that. And sometimes all it takes is somebody to tell you that you're good, right? So Kaley, thank you for doing that, because I will always remember Bria Little, shout out, when I was a student reporter at my college, UC Davis, and the first segment I ever did, I thought I was terrible, so I thought I was gonna quit. And I stopped. But then I found an interest that there's this dance competition coming up, so I'm like, you know what, I can talk a lot about that because I'm passionate about that. I don't have to worry about memorizing anything. I was so focused on being perfect and reading all the words correctly, and if I didn't memorize it on camera, like this paragraph, I'd be like, I'm not good. And then after that dance one, I remember Bria Little, who was my camera operator, she said that was so good, you should continue doing it. And I actually give her credit, because if not, I don't know if I would be here today, because I literally was terrified the first time I spoke on camera, and I thought I was not good. So Kaley, great on you for doing that. But I do want to ask you, MC, so what is it that you would like to do? Are you looking at hosting?
See, I think that's what I want to do. I've seen a lot of hosting going on, and I like a lot of just like that influencer vlog style, or just having a conversation with other women. Like, I'm from Oklahoma. You don't see a lot of me there either. And so for me to just like start there and maybe branch out nationally or internationally, I would love to do that.
Okay. Again, we're speaking it into the world.
Yeah, manifesting for sure.
Oh yeah. And Miss Kaley, what is it that you desire after this? What would you like to do?
Yeah, so obviously earn my PhD. I would like to get to that point. But so, like I said, like my kind of goal with going to the PhD was to bring more representation into the classroom. And so my future goals is to be in a program that values true representation among its students, but also fully equipping their students to enter the media space. I feel like sometimes, and many educators will agree with me, because we're limited by time and money like everyone else, but there is kind of this disconnect when you graduate, because you just don't have access to the technologies. And so, my goal in the teaching side is to make sure students are equipped, that they not only feel represented, but that they feel included and feel like I belong in this space. And I want them to have that mentality before they graduate, because once you kind of jump into the industry, it's a very hard battle. I mean, I've been in the industry 8 years, and I just now feel like, I'm enough. I have some credibility here. And that's one thing that I would love to instill very early in the classroom. And then from a researcher standpoint, my big focus on research and my love is critically examining creator culture and making sure that, like my dissertation is specifically going to be on the lack of representation among female cinematographers and exploring why that is. And so for me, like I study influencers, like the formal role influencers, content creators, and that's what I want to critically examine, because there's also possibilities for policy and things like that this research can impact. So I feel like a lot of the times in academia, practice and research are kind of separate, but I feel like they have to be together, and you have to be willing to do both at the same time in a very critical way, so that the whole industry can advance forward, because it's one continual loop. It's not a line.
I'm sorry, I'm shooketh right now.
When she told me that, I was like, okay.
I think my soul just escaped my body of, okay, Doc Martin.
Doc Martin.
I mean, like, did you
I'm
just get
hoping
your
one day if I'm a
ready?
dean, I'll be Dean Martin. So
Okay.
I'm really running on this.
That's incredible. I mean, we have, again, can we give them a round of applause, please?
Thank you.
You literally applied for a program that your professors vouched for you on. So shout out to all the professors, first of all.
Des, shout out.
Actually, can we do a shout out of your professors who sent you here? Go ahead.
Yeah, James Machado, if you're watching this. Also, Stacey Irwin and Rob Spicer. I love you all.
Bethany Swain, I think she is about
Shout
to go
out
to
to
the
Bethany.
airport.
Bethany.
So Bethany is here at the conference with us. So I've introduced all of them to her, and she's just such an incredible mentor.
She's like our surrogate
And
professor.
She's like my conference mom. I love her. So shout out Bethany Swain, the most incredible professor I have ever had.
And then shout out to Dr. Desiree Hill. I love you, Desiree. I feel like I wouldn't have been here without her. She has put so much life in me and pushed me so far beyond what I thought I could go. So shout out to Des.
And I mean, I was the 28-year-old doc student, so I just saw we will pay your way to Vegas, and I went, I'm gonna apply. But I will say, like, when I was getting ready to apply, I thought I'm kind of older. Like, they're gonna pick the younger people.
Nah.
And I'm a doc student. They probably think I just read books all day, which I do. But I applied, and I was nervous about applying. And my friend Dr. Danielle Devers actually was like, "Do it. You should totally do it." And then now that I've been here, Dr. Chandra Clark, who you met on the monorail, she's been so encouraging. My undergraduate advisor was here, Dr. Bruce Finkley. He's amazing. And then lastly, the person who literally supports me in everything I do, my husband. He's
Shout out to
my
hubby.
biggest cheerleader. And then my broadcast guys. I work on a team with some amazing guys, and they literally were just like, "You have to go do all these cool things in Vegas." So they're big cheerleaders as well. So I thank them as well.
Ooh, oh my goodness. I feel like, yay, celebrate, yay. Oh my gosh. Well, it was so incredible having all four of you here on this panel. Thank you for taking your time to be on here and sharing.
Thank you.
Because I think what it is visibility, right? Seeing someone like you doing it. So for everybody watching, whenever NAB Show decides to have even more influencers, who knows, maybe half of
Give me a call.
Half of the show will be influencers just getting content on content on content. But yeah, to Kaley's point, you are here. We want you here, and exactly what you're doing with your dissertation and studying why it is that there's a lack of representation, and working with creators to create policy and change. Like, that's so important, and why we need to continue bridging the gap between traditional broadcast ways with the new kind of content creation ways. Not to take one or the other, but how do we bridge the gap so we can continue moving forward and just amplifying all our voices and what's important in life. So thank you so much for being on the stage.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a few more minutes, so I want to open it up. Is there any questions from the audience for any of these ladies up here? Well, actually, I see comments in the live chat. I do have it on my personal YouTube channel. So, it's not a question, but it's a comment from my Aunt Meg.
We love you.
She goes, "Hi, ladies." I feel like I'm going to say it in her voice. She does have a accent. So she's like, "Hi, ladies. I'm so excited for the future of broadcast and journalism. Bless your hearts, Meg Henderson Wade." But that's my aunt.
We love you.
And
Thank
she
you.
literally called me right before saying that they just landed here for the Lady Gaga concert. So they're like,
Oh, I'm jealous.
We're tuning in right now, so thank you. Shout out to my Uncle Tommy and my Aunt Meg who flew in, and we get to grab dinner today. I love family. They're on the East Coast, so I rarely get to see them. But thank you so much again. And is there anything you'd like to say before we end our stream today?
Please give me a call if you need somebody as an influencer. I'm not kidding. I love to travel.
916.
So just give me a call. I'm on Instagram. I know my little plug is on
She
there.
has a digital business card. We
Yeah,
can give
just
you a
scan
QR
it.
code.
Just let me know.
I think just like a closing thing that I've been reflecting on, just feeling so fulfilled after this. It's been so amazing, more amazing than I ever thought it would be. These three ladies, like,
these my girls.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna miss them so much.
Oh gosh.
It's just been so great. I've learned so much about myself and about the industry, and I could not be more thankful. So thank you, NAB, also.
Thank
for
you,
having
NAB.
us.
Thank you, NAB. And thank you, Nikki, for
thank
giving
you,
us
Nikki.
this
Thank you,
platform
Nikki.
and like being such a good person and connection at this conference. You're just like what you're doing, I think, is so empowering as young women in the industry, and to see you at NAB talking to these content creators. Didn't you interview Cody Rigsby?
Oh yeah, yesterday on the main stage.
So
that was
cool.
my first
No
big
moment.
deal.
We
I'm
had a
so
moment.
jealous. All of my friends love him, but I think it's just incredible as like someone that we all look up to. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And before I cry, thank you for wearing my pin, by the way. Oh, I love this TechNicki Speaking pin, but I love it seeing you wear it too, because that's essentially why I started TechNicki Speaking by Nicki Sun, is because I wanted to be a channel where I could amplify other voices, to make other people feel included, and then to also nerd out. So just letting you know, because it is my final show, please watch. I have all the episodes up with all my guests on my channel. I do stream live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I go an hour talking about gear. A lot of the gear that I might be featuring here, you might see yourself on there. It's kind of like a QVC show, but it's educational at the same time. So if you want to know how to set up your live streaming, I have Rocky Nash and also Aaron Parecki that was on my Monday show, and they have so much information about how to do your live streams. To Valentina V, and to also, Jen Pichette, who is the first Overwatch lead commentator, who was my first guest and resident host of this entire stage. So we just had an incredible guests the entire week. So please go back online, go to nabshow.com, NAB Amplify, the segments will be up. And please continue advocating and pushing for more women in media, women in film, but also just being that person that will reach out, be that professor that will reach out, be that person or that company that sponsors and backs what you say, what you preach with money, because at the end of the day, we need to be financed. So we don't do everything for free exposure, because at the end of the day, I always say, too much exposure kills. So we gotta find a way that is mutually beneficial for everybody. But yeah, thank you so much. And thank you all for joining me for TechNicki Speaking by Nicki Sun. I'm your host, Nicki Sun, and I'll see you on the live streams.